Okay, hello and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Easy Markets Daily Pitch International with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today's the 13th of April, 2023. So, yep, welcome, everyone. Welcome to this um, Thursday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. Look, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. I'll disappear here for a little bit and then we can continue. Okay, guys, I think that we've missed out. I didn't unmute myself here. Yeah, guys. So hopefully now you can hear me. There we go. So just very quickly on back again on Nikkei. I think that yes, this is where my mic went down a little bit. So I hope you can hear me now. Yep. So look, very quickly, it's good that I didn't really travel too too much here down the list, but look, very quickly with Nikkei again. As I said before, look, I am keeping a close eye on this downside line. We kind of reached my target in a way. I mean, if you remember, I talked about this. If we break the break above the 27,930 zone, then yes, I will go a little bit higher. And yeah, we reached my target. We tested this downside line. Now the question is, can we break that? If we can, great. I will go further north here and initially targeting this 28,393 territory, a break of which of course may attract a few more buyers into the game. But for the downside, I would actually like to see a drop below the 27,930 territory, and then we could take it from there. ASX 200, also just a quick recap, because again, like I said, my mic was on mute, I think. Look, with ASX 200, I mean, the 7,395 territory provided very good resistance in general. The 7,400 zone in general, this whole area around that level, did provide good resistance, and we drifted back to the downside. Now, in order for me to go higher, well, I need to see a nice good push back above that 7,400 territory, and then we could go we could start examining those higher levels. Now, for the downside, I would like to see a drop somewhere below the 7,293 territory right here, because at the same time we would break below the upside line, we would fall below that, yeah, this trend line, and this area, the 7,293, did act as a good area of support previously and resistance as well. So yeah, this could be a nice good target to keep an eye on if you're looking for some lower levels. Nifty 50, so far so good. Look, I mean, I talked about this and I said that keep your eyes on this this territory, this highlighted zone, which could provide a bit of resistance. Well, so far it's doing a good job, and yes, it's providing that resistance. So maybe let's see if this curved idea to the downside here could work out. For now, this is exactly what I'm going to be considering. If we continue to trade below this, then yes, I will consider maybe a move back, a slide back to the 100-day EMA, or maybe even the 200-day EMA. Let's wait and see. But if we clear this highlighted zone and we stay above it, then yes, I will go a little bit more to the upside. Now the Dow Jones. So yesterday, if you remember, I talked about this. And by the way, picking up on some of the instruments that I looked at yesterday. So just to see how everything played out. So look, yesterday inflation came out in the US. The headline number did fall, but the core, this is where it's interesting that the core remained elevated, and actually it did come out as expected, and yeah, in line with expectations, but yeah, higher. So it doesn't really help the market here in a way. I mean, it could still mean that the Fed will continue raising rates. Look, I have been talking about this for quite a while now, and I have been mentioning this, that look, in general, the path is still the same. I think that during the meeting, I think that we'll still get another 25 basis points increase. Even the Fed Watch tool is saying that. Look, last week, if you remember, we were kind of at 50-50. Even at one point, there was like actually a higher probability for no rate hikes. But yeah, I think everything is in line with the kind of the whole course of continuous rate increases. So yeah, for now, that's the game plan. In a way, I would say yes. I mean, we will continue monitoring the situation here. But look, from the technical perspective, I've mentioned this, and I said to you yesterday, keep your eyes on this, because I don't want this to be a range. And of course, the market will give me what I don't want. And you can see exactly what's happening here, because look, as we pushed higher, we made a good move, but then by the end of the trading day, we drifted back to the downside. And yes, and we fell and we remained inside this range. So yesterday in general, Dow was the kind of the best performer from the three losers, so it's if we can say it this way. And yeah, so Dow did kind of lose the least Nasdaq was the biggest loser, and well, I'll get to that in a bit. But here, coming back to Dow, I mean, look, if we do push back above this 33,878 territory right here, and if we stay above it, I will go to the upside. But if we continue to trade below it, well, there is a chance to see maybe a bit of a decline here within that range. Nasdaq. So yeah, looking good. Looking good with that potential descending triangle pattern. And if you remember, I talked about this and I said that in order to go higher, we needed to see a nice good push through this downside line, through that 13,220 territory, and we were getting all that yesterday. However, we failed to stay, and this is one of those moments where I keep saying, guys, wait for it to stay, and kind of, we need to see the instrument staying above a certain, or above or below a certain level, in order to kind of consider the next short-term directional move. So in this case, yes, we got that push, we got that move, but it didn't really stay. So what it created us is a false breakout. So long story short, guys, for now, it seems like that the potential idea of a descending triangle pattern here could be working out. So look, if we do drop and stay below the 12,950 territory, I will lean a little bit more towards the downside. And yeah, for now, it's not really, it's a no man's game, because look, on one hand we have a descending triangle. Maybe some of you are seeing here a nice falling channel here. Again, if this is the case, okay, we could continue sliding lower, maybe towards the lower side of this falling channel. This is what I'm going to keep an eye on. But if we do rebound, for example, from this territory, then maybe actually this is not a falling channel. Maybe it's a nice bullish flag, but again, way too extended, not a very attractive one. But hey, still, we need to consider all these things. So look, at this point for now, although it looks a bit complicated right now, let's try not to overcomplicate things. Look, for now, I'm considering this to be as a nice descending triangle. If we do drop below that 12,950 territory, I'll lean a little bit more lower, and I'll target the lower side of this falling channel, potential falling channel. But if that gets cleared, then yes, of course, further declines are possible towards the 50-day EMA. But let's get rid of this. But for the upside, I will still stick to the same line here, to the same area, the 13,220 territory. If we clear that one, I will go a little bit higher. DAX, the German index. So this one is just not doing anything. It looks interesting, but hey, I would say for now, keep your eyes, continue watching that 15,891 territory. I spoke about that level yesterday. I said that it needs to see a push above it in order to go higher. Well, we did get a push, but we failed to stay above it. So yeah, no good. We need to see a nice good kind of let's say stronger move above this area, above that 15,891, and kind of I would like to see the body of the daily candle staying above that area in order to go higher. For the downside, I need to see a drop somewhere below this territory, below the 15,627, something around here, and then yes, we could consider a move towards the 50-day EMA. Now jumping into dollar index. So yesterday, look, I talked about this and I said that I'm kind of leaning towards the downside, but I'll wait. And well, we got my breakout. Then I said that my next target is the 101.09 territory, which we managed to reach almost here. Yep, actually, you know what? It's a hit. It's a hit, so we've reached that. And now the question is, can we clear that 101.09 territory? If we can, yes, I'll go lower. I'll go to the downside here, aiming for the 100.67 territory. In terms of the upside, well, of course, ideally, I would like to wait for a break of this downside line, but I get it. There is a bit of territory here that we could be missing out, but to be honest, I rather stay safe than sorry. And I would rather kind of wait for maybe, you know, like a push above this downside line in order to go higher, because at this point, if it climbs back up and pushes maybe somewhere above the 101.55 territory, okay, we could maybe consider a bit of a move to the upside here towards this downside line. So basically something like this. But again, it's a tricky one. If you want to risk that, okay, guys, but you need to remember you can only risk what you can afford to lose. That's kind of the main goal, the main idea. So just kind of stick to it, guys. And for now, I would say I'm kind of leaning more towards the downside, but I need to see a confirmation break here before getting a little bit more excited with the downside. Gold. This one was yesterday a big, massive roller coaster ride, and I mean, honestly, this is just if I jump into a 4-hour chart, yes, shot up nicely, declined strongly, and now kind of retracing all that, regaining all those losses. And at the moment we're kind of flat, and I think that we will remain a little bit on the flat side. Until we get some sort of a bigger trigger. So yeah, today in terms of economic data, we have the initial jobless claims coming out, then the PPIs from the US. So keep your eyes on the dollar index, of course. Some data has already come out from Europe, but I'll jump into that when I'll pick up on some currencies. But yeah, look, keep your eyes on today's, yeah, like I said, numbers, job numbers. I mean, initial and continuous jobless claims together with the US PPI. So let's see how that's going to play out. And tomorrow, of course, and by the way, just to kind of let you know that tomorrow there won't be any daily pitch international session, nor on Monday and Tuesday. We will resume on Wednesday. But yeah, tomorrow, keep your eyes on the retail sales, the core and the headline from the US. That will be interesting to see how it plays out. And industrial and manufacturing production numbers are also coming out from the US tomorrow, so also be careful. But yeah, coming back to gold and this whole thing here, and yesterday, for example, you can see that the 2003 territory, my barrier for the upside, which I said that if we break it and we stay above it, then yeah, I'll go higher. It's still working out. So in a way, I'm kind of leaning towards the upside, to be honest, and I'm leaning towards that upper side of the of this rising channel pattern, and then we will kind of take it from there. Maybe we could go further north, but let's go slowly on this one. It would be already a good move if we do push towards that upper side of the rising channel, but hey, let's not rush into anything. For the downside, look, I mean, I would consider some lower levels if we do fall back below the 2003 territory right here, and if we do get that, then yes, I will consider maybe a bit of a move to the lower side of the rising channel. Now silver, look, I talked about this, mission accomplished, my target has been reached, or should I say the area near my level has been reached. So, excuse me, so what's next? Well, certainly further upside is possible, and for that I need to see a push above the 25.75 territory. If we get that, I'll get a little bit more excited with the upside, and yes, I will target that 26.22 territory. I've mentioned this before. Look, I said that this area is the one that I'm aiming for first, the inside swing low of the 18th of April 2022. But if we clear that one, then yes, of course, the highest point of April of 2022 is my next target, the 26.22 zone. Not to mention, of course, the levels here. Let me just grab a line. So for example, this one right there, the 26.95 zone could be a nice good target, of course. But let's wait and see. Let's not rush into anything. Don't get me wrong. At some point, we will get a nice correction here, but When will that be? Maybe it will be today, maybe it will be tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe I don't know. So we don't have a crystal ball, unfortunately, so we need to just go from what we have. So for now, look, I kind of reached my target, so I'm just kind of sitting and chilling there. I'm waiting for my next kind of move to see if if I can get a breakout here through this 25.75 territory. If we can, then yes, I'll go higher. For the downside, I would like to see it drop back below the 25.14 zone right here, and then yes, I could consider a move lower, but actually this move lower will be classed as a temporary correction before another possible leg of buying, because we're still above this upside support line, taken from the low, the 21st of March. Now, jumping into oil, guys, very quickly. Boom. Boom. There we go. Weaker dollar is helping out this commodity to move a little bit higher and to clear my highlighted zone right here. So, look, we pushed through it and we stayed above it. Great. Now, what's next? Now, just a second, bear with me one moment. Amir, I can see you there in the chat room. Vanguard Funds. Ooh, ETFs. Okay, look, this is not something, this is basically already kind of could lead to financial advice. So, look, I think that you can research the funds yourselves. I mean, some of them are good, some of them depends, so I know what you're talking about, but again, this is a little bit of a different topic to what I'm covering here. You don't really apply technical analysis on the funds, so I will say it's something, first of all, long term. It's not short term. I mean, look. Excuse me. My voice is going down. Look, with the funds, it's a little bit different because, again, this is something, as I said, it's not really short term, it's longer term. And sorry about that. Oh, you got me in the pickle there. There we go. So, with the funds, like I said, it's you cannot really do technical analysis on the fund because, again, you have to dig in deeper and see where this fund is investing. I mean, in this case, if the regulators, again, you need to dig into that specific fund. I mean, it's okay, it's following the S&P, but again, maybe it's actually taking something else from there. Maybe it has a part of some stocks in there as well. So you just kind of I'm not sure. You need to dig into it. See, let's say the spreadsheet and see the information list and what's included in that fund, so that you would know exactly what's happening there and how it could be affected by the market going further. But yeah, in general, ETF funds can be good, again, depending on where they're investing. UCITS, yes, could be good, so just kind of think about that. And but again, not everything is as good. Let's say like this: not everything is as good as it maybe is presented. Um, but in general, some funds are good, some funds are not. But you have to, unfortunately, you have to dig into it. You cannot just, in general, never kind of follow um, kind of just trust yourself, like I would say it this way, and don't really, somebody's trying to sell you something, just kind of be careful. Anyway, coming back to oil, for now, look, long story short, I would say for now I'm leaning towards the upside. If the dollar especially continues to slide, then yes, certainly all this is working out. So from the technical perspective, all is nice here. I mean, we do have a bunch of levels that I'm going to be keeping a close eye on, and yes, so somewhere around here, this is going to be the 89.80 zone, could be a nice good target as well. So just kind of for now, I would say, if we stay this week, or if we stay above this highlighted zone of mine, then yes, great. I will continue targeting the upside. And yes, especially if we continue to trade above the 200-day EMA. But what I want to point out, look, whenever we get like a breakout, okay, you have to kind of say, great, wonderful, it's working in my favor, that's fine. But don't forget that we still, let's say, have today's day and tomorrow's day to trade. So um, what I'm trying to lean here to is that it could, for example, still drift back. I mean, so you need to kind of still have that, element of kind of doubt in your head that, maybe this might, not actually work out as planned. For that, of course, you have your stop losses in place and you only risk what you can afford to lose. That's something I'm gonna bore you to death by saying all that over and over, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna continue saying that. And because if it suddenly, let's say, it suddenly starts dropping back today into the downside here, and then let's say on Friday it falls back below the 200-day EMA, then what we'll have ourselves here is a nice false breakout on a weekly candle. And then we're back to square one, basically. Then we could see this one maybe correcting back to the downside. So just kind of keep that in mind. But for now, of course, looking quite positive, looking quite interesting here. So yeah, as long as we stay above this highlighted zone of mine, I will continue targeting the upside. Ethereum. Ethereum, I talked about this one, just a quick recap, basically. Look, it seems like we're forming a nice ascending triangle here. Still looking quite bullish, but if we do pop above my target, this 1943 zone, I will aim for that psychological 2000 zone, or maybe even a little bit higher towards that 2019 level, marked by the highest point of August of 2022, and then we'll take it from there. Simple. This one is a little like very simple for now. I mean, not really, like I said, doing anything else, just watching my levels. For the downside, I need to see a drop below the 1846 territory. Then, of course, I'll aim for this upside line. But if that gets broken, then further declines here towards the 50-day EMA could be possible. Litecoin. Again, this is what I was warning you in the beginning of this week, and I said that, hey, great, we're getting that breakout, wonderful, but if it ends up being a false breakout, we could go back into the range. What happened? We went back into the range, and we got ourselves a false breakout. So I'm just observing the price action now. Just want to see what's gonna happen further. If we do clear that 94.75 territory again and we stay above it, great, I'll go to the upside. If we start falling below the 88.54 territory, great, I'll go a little bit more to the downside. AUDUSD, guys. So this is something that I mentioned to you yesterday. I said, look, I'm still going to keep an eye on this rising channel. Why? Because if we somehow pop back inside it, and yeah, we did move back inside it a little bit here. So in a way, this increases the chances for a kind of a push, higher. But at this point, you can see that the 50-day EMA, the 50-day EMA is providing good resistance. If we clear that one, I'll go towards the 100 and then the 200, and then basically, and I will end up near my target around the 0.6793. But this is what I was talking to you about yesterday. I said that if we push back inside the rising channel, I will continue. I will aim a little bit more towards the upside, especially if we start clearing these EMAs. AUDJPY, guys, AUDJPY. Let me just quickly double check something here. Okay. Oh, by the way, employment numbers came out from Australia. Well, they came out earlier, not now, but I forgot to mention those. So yeah, the unemployment rate declined, so it gone better. Or actually, sorry, it didn't go better. It remained as previous at 3.5. The only thing is that there was an expectation for a higher unemployment by just 0.1%, but came out as the previous one. And in general, all the numbers came out better. Employment change was twice the forecast. Yes, lower than the previous adjusted, but still better than the forecast. Participation rate improved by 0.1%. And yeah, so in general, overall, good numbers. And look, we're having a nice push here to the upside. We're breaking this downside line, but we're currently getting a hold up near the and there my voice goes down again. Just a sec. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So we're now resting near this 50-day EMA. So in order for me to go further north, I need to see a nice good push above it. Okay, look, one part of the upside scenario is already working out. Apologies for that. So one scenario, like one part of the scenario of the upside scenario is already working out, that we broke the downside line. We're now near this 50-day EMA, but if we clear that one, then yes, I'll continue aiming for my target near the 19.23, and then we'll take it from there. For the downside, I need to see a break of this upside line here, taken from the low of the 24th of March, and then we'll consider maybe a bit of a decline. USDJPY. So yeah, we retraced to the downside yesterday. Of course, understandable. Look, I talked about this as well. I said that keep your eyes on this range. So far, we're in this range. If you're a range trader, congratulations. This could be something that you really like. But for now, look, I'll say this way. As long as we stay below the 133.55 territory, I will consider maybe a bit of a decline here, a move back down. However, I'll get more comfortable with the downside if we do fall below the 132.20 territory. Oops. Now then, look, in terms of the upside, I need to see a nice, good, strong push above that 133.55. If we clear that, then yes, I'll get more excited with the upside, and I'll aim, of course, initially for that 200-day EMA, and then for my other key important resistance area between the 135.12 and 26, approximately around there, guys. USDCAD. So yeah, so far so good. But yeah, we're getting closer to my barrier for the downside, the 1.3411, sorry. If we clear that, as this is what I said to you yesterday, if we clear it and stay below it, then yes, I'll go further south, because a forthcoming lower low would be confirmed and potentially more sellers could join in. So pretty much straightforward. Let me just put this one on the chart. There we go. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see it. Let me just increase the visibility. There we go. So yeah, if we clear this target, this 1.3411, then yes, I will go a little bit lower. Not saying that I'm going to be very, very bearish or something like that. No, I'm just going to slowly start moving to the downside towards my other targets here. But yeah, for now, like I said, let's see if we can get that breakout. GBPNZD, so yeah, looking good, getting closer to my downside line, which I've mentioned. So yesterday, as you can see here, we did decline, and the upper side of the rising wedge did work out nicely here, and I did provide good support, and from which it rebounded and pushed back up. So yeah, look, for now, I would say this way. As long as we continue to trade above the upper side of this rising wedge, then yes, my next target is this downside line taken from the high of the 3rd of February of 2022. For now, I'm seeing this as a good potential area of resistance. If we stay below it, maybe a bit of a retracement back down here could be possible. So something in lines of this, basically. Look, I'm still keeping an eye on this rising wedge, although it didn't really work out according to the textbooks, but so far it's quite interesting, I would say, just from the kind of support and resistance perspective. But yeah, look, I mean, if we do get a hold up near this downside line, and then we start drifting back down, then yes, I'll aim for one of the sides of the rising wedge, and then I'll take it from there. EURCHF, guys, very quickly on that one. I talked about this yesterday as well. I said that, hey, keep your eyes on this hurdle here, the 0.9848, because I need to see a nice good clearance of it in order to go lower, and I will need to see the body of the daily candle staying below it. Well, we did get a breakout, a false breakout here, and then we drifted back above it. Look, this so far is acting as a good area of support. Don't rush into anything yet, because again, I just want to be cautious here, because maybe, you know, okay, on one hand, maybe we have ourselves an inverted head and shoulders pattern or something like that. You know, the left shoulder here, the right shoulder here. But again, it's not a very straightforward head and shoulders, I would say. I think it's more of a complex one, because in a way you could mistaken it with a double top right here, with the neckline being where we're currently sitting at. So basically, it is providing good support right now. So if we do clear this area, then yes, ignore the whole kind of whole inverted head and shoulders pattern, and yes, maybe this could be just a double top, and we could drift a little bit lower. So look, for now, that's why I'm trying to push away all these ideas of double tops, these inverted head and shoulders. I'm just pushing that away for now. I'm just going to purely kind of focus on some key support and resistance levels. And in this case, right now, I'm focusing on the 0.9848 zone, and then we will take it from there if we do clear that. EURJPY, my target has been reached, the 146.73. I talked about this this week, in the beginning of this week. I said that if we clear this territory, yes, I'll go higher. Great. Look, mission accomplished. What's next? Well, next is, of course, the next higher level, which I'm going to be monitoring here, and this is the 146.73. If we clear that one, then yes, I'll go a little bit higher here towards the 148.40, and then we'll take it from there. This is the highest point of October of 2022, or actually, I think, in general, the highest point of 2022. Could be a nice good target, but again, a confirmation break is still needed. For the downside, I need to see a drop below this upside line, and then we could aim for one of the EMAs. And finally, EURUSD. So yesterday was a beautiful move here to the upside. We tested the upper side of the rising wedge. So look, this is one of those scenarios where the rising wedge is so far working out. Again, I'll remind you again, according to all the TA rules, rising wedges tend to break to the downside, but again, a confirmation break is required. So that's why we wait, because again, until it remains inside the pattern, it could still go higher, even overshoot the upper side, like we had here on GBPNZD. So that's why a rising wedge will work out as a rising wedge only if we break the lower side of it. Until then, it might not even be a rising wedge. Maybe it's going to end up being a rising channel. So that's why you need to kind of, until it's like this, it's a rising wedge. Once it starts, let's say, violating one of the sides, then straight away you have to strip the whole idea away and kind of, you know, start fresh. So that's what we're doing here with GBPNZD. And EURUSD, so far it's working out. Look, yesterday we tested that psychological 110 territory. Great. Look, in general, my target got reached. I said that if we do clear this 1.0930 territory, and we stay above it, I'll go towards the upper side of the rising wedge. Fantastic. Everything got worked out. I mean, it worked out nicely. So what's next? Well, actually, yes. Again, same story as with GBPNZD. I mean, you know, I'm going to be keeping an eye on this upper side. If we clear that one, then we have that 1.1033. If you remember, I talked about that in the beginning of this week and last week as well. I said that if we clear this territory, we go back above the 1.0930. I'm going to aim for that 1.10 and maybe even the 1.1033, which is the current highest point of this year. It's going to be very interesting to see if we can actually create a new highest point maybe this week. Again, I'm not saying anything, but maybe, you know, that we could see that clearance of that 1.1033. If we do, this will confirm a forthcoming higher high and potentially could attract more buyers into the game. But we need to see the pair, we need to see the daily candle staying above that area. If we do get that, then yes, I will get a little bit more comfortable with further acceleration to the upside. For the downside, I will, take a very conservative approach here and wait until we get a clearance of this upside line, which is currently the lower side of the rising wedge. If we clear that, I'll get I'll get a little bit more excited with the downside. So guys, that's it for this session. Thank you very much for your views, for your likes, for your comments, guys. Thank you very much. And just a quick reminder that tomorrow there won't be any traders, any daily pitch international for my traders here. So yep, I will resume back on Wednesday. So Monday, Tuesday also. We won't have any. But yeah, I'll resume on Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful, guys, weekend. In general, we will have a nice trading day today, tomorrow. Don't overtrade, guys. As always, just kind of, if it's not going well, just leave it. Honestly, it will present itself with a nice opportunity. Don't try to chase the market. And everything will be fine. So yeah, have a beautiful trading day, beautiful tomorrow's trading day, beautiful weekend. And I'll see you on Wednesday. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
If you want to continue to please the trading gods, subscribe to our channel for a blessing.